Hi, I'm Dave. This is the Cyderbaby Show, and today I'm speaking to DJ from 13 Doors. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm not so bad. You're looking well. I believe you're being a little bit battered by a storm at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's Storm Agnes. I might have the name wrong, but it's not looking great out there now. Not looking great. The dogs wouldn't even go out earlier on.
No, I get that. My dogs do that on a daily basis, even if it's sunny.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
have a
just
little look out and go, nah, not today.
not today. So 13 Doors. I've got to admit that I haven't heard of you until you sent a single through the other day, and I've been playing it every day since on the radio.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's quite all right. So just tell me everything about yourselves.
Yeah, so the idea for the band has been floating around a long, long time. Um,
Hmm.
I think I had the name in 2015. Around that time, we just messing around with riffs and bits and pieces, and it never really came to anything. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But playing in cover bands and playing in different shows, and the ideas were always in the back of the head, but nothing kind of came together. Then it was kind of when the whole COVID lockdown thing started, it was like brilliant, right? Time to write an album, time to
Yeah.
get everything done. And of course, did absolutely nothing, like everybody else in the country who had fantastic ideas, and then it was like, nah, yeah, forgot nothing done. And then I don't know what it was that actually sparked it, but it was just kind of myself and a couple of the other guys in the band. You know, we've been playing in different things together. We do a theater show, like a rock tribute theater show with two of the lads in the band.
Okay.
Um, and I don't know what it was that sparked it. We just decided, right, time to sit down, time to start actually recording. Um, so myself and Ed kind of put together the best of the ideas that were there, and just started finally recording it there. And I think we started tracking the drums in 2022,
Yeah.
and now we're starting to release it now.
Right. So are you? We've got the single. Remind me the name. Sorry.
Lead the way.
Lead the way. Yep. Thank you. Just age getting to me. I'm sorry about
Bit
that. um.
early for that.
Trust me. So lead the way is out now.
Yes.
Is this like the lead single off an album, or are you doing single after single? How are
Well, the
you going to approach
plan,
it?
yeah, we have an album's worth of stuff there. So I think the plan is to release four, maybe even five singles, because that's the way the
Hmm.
industry is nowadays. It's not really an album world, which is a bit sad.
Hmm.
But for the likes of Spotify and stuff, it's all about singles.
Yeah.
Um, so the plan I think is four singles, maybe a fifth one. We'll see how it's going, and then release the album early next year.
Okay.
So we've the next one in the pipeline for mid late October.
Okay. Right. I'll make sure you get it sent over to me,
I will for
please.
sure. First man on the list.
Oh dear. Right. So let's step it back a bit. I mean, you're actually wearing a t-shirt that reminds me quite a bit of the music style you're playing.
Oh, the Tremonti.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, was he a major influence?
yeah, huge influence. He was. I remember the first time I saw him, I think was just after they'd released the first album,
Right.
and he was opening for Slash, and this was probably, I'm going to say 2010,
Yeah.
which is a long time ago. I bullied my dad to bring me to London to see Slash, and and Tremonti was opening. Um, yeah, and it was actually through Slash, through listening to. I was a big fan of Guns N' Roses and Slash, kind of growing up,
Hmm.
and that was how I kind of discovered Miles Kennedy, and then that branched into the Alter Bridge stuff, and then the
Yeah.
Tremonti, and it went from there.
Yeah. I can hear the influence in the style of music. Was that a conscious decision just to I mean, I've only got one single to go by now. I mean, are you quite heavy riff orientated,
It's
chunky
quite, yeah.
guitars?
A lot of the songs are all riff based. I don't think it was particularly conscious. It was just kind of, sit down to write something, and as a song comes together,
Hmm.
one of them might jump out, and I'd kind of think, oh, that's something I would listen to. It tends to be the riffier stuff that I listen to. Um,
Okay.
but
Okay.
there's a few different influences. I'm a big Lizzie fan growing up,
Yeah. Yeah. Aren't we
big
all?
George Harrison fan. You can hear that in a few songs of a sitar on one of them, and
Okay.
yeah,
Was that you playing a sitar?
not very well, but yeah. Yeah, yeah. I managed to go to India a couple of years ago and brought one back with me.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Electric sitars I reckon could take off. I mean, you got bands like the Who.
yeah, yeah.
You
It'd be
know.
tough to bring on the road now, all right? But
Yeah, possibly. Um. So, where are 13 Doors at the moment? Then, you obviously got the first single that's landed.
Mhm.
Um. You're planning the next single. What about gigs? What about touring? What about that kind of thing? Where are you at there?
At the minute, we've nothing in the pipeline. Um,
Right.
we're going to be looking at kind of festivals and stuff next year
Hmm.
again because we're only going to have an album's worth of material. It's not going to be, in my head anyway, it's not enough for doing a headline slot or anything like that.
Right.
We probably might do an album launch with a couple of bands or something like that to bulk up the length of the set list. And then after that, we're going to go chasing support slots and
Right.
chasing festivals and try and build it from there. It's really building it from the ground up.
Yeah. What kind of support slots are you looking for? What sort of bands do you think you'd see yourself fitting well with?
See, and only actually from starting to release this music, discovered that there's dozens, if not hundreds, of amazing bands around. Particularly the UK is where I'm looking because of the
Mm,
language and all. There's loads of bands that I'd never even heard of until I looked at, that bit in Spotify where it's like the
yeah.
radio for the song you're listening to,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
listening to the suggested bands that they're suggesting sound like us, and there's some amazing bands out there. Um, I mean, I'd be open for playing with anybody that sounds sort of like us, and more importantly, is a sound lad or sound lads. It's someone that you can hang out with afterwards, or someone that you can.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's quite a few of those bands around. Most of the ones
yeah,
I come across are pretty laid back and
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
I don't think you get very far if you're not like that anymore.
yeah.
Different
That
back in the olden days, the Axl Rose days.
yeah. Yeah. I, the day of the ego, shall we say?
Oh yeah,
Even
that's long
even
gone.
even though
Thank
it's
God.
even though there's still egos floating around now, but I can't say it's all gone. But the day of the overblown rock star ego is long gone, I
Yeah,
think.
that's long gone. Thank
Yeah.
God.
Oh, surely you'd like to just be like a rock star with an ego for one small, tiny.
Go around with my sunglasses and my.
Yeah, yeah. My grandson is walking around with cat sunglasses on. He's very rock star. He's very rock and roll.
Yeah, he's
Um,
beat me to it.
he has.
There's no room for two.
I mean, he's not coming over here at the moment. I would show you, but no, he's too interested in cats and dogs on TV at the moment. But
Yeah, that's like a
yeah,
real rock star. He doesn't care at all. He's not even.
no,
No,
he
I'm not
doesn't.
coming over here.
So what about the other guys in the band? Then you better name them.
Yeah, so we've got Ed is also on vocals and guitar, and
Right.
myself and Ed have been playing together since I started playing live. Really, since I was a young gossin. Let's say I actually started. Oh yes, they are the glasses I need. They're the ones I need.
Yeah, yeah, very rock and roll, eh?
Yeah, so I'd actually started my career as a roadie for the band that Ed was in,
Yeah,
and ended up joining that band eventually, um, and then played with that. It was a cover band, played there for years, and we've kind of just played together since.
yeah.
We just like similar kinds of music. We write in a similar sort of a way, and it just seems to work. On
Hello.
bass guitar and vocals. Hello.
I don't think. Can you hear it? No, he is very
No,
shy. He did go to his first festival in August, so he's
first festival.
yeah, went to Stone Dead Festival with his big
No
sister.
way.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
yeah, yeah.
That's no wonder he's wearing the sunglasses. So
I know, I
he
know.
knows the crack now.
Yeah, he sings along, not very well, but he does sing along. But I'm
That's
going
a
to
bit
put
like
him.
me. Not brilliant.
I'm going to put him down now before he flies off into the distance. There you go. Look at. Right. Okay, I've got the look now. Okay, so the next
Yeah, so
person.
myself and
Yes.
Ed have been playing for years. Pat, he's a kind of a legend in the Limerick metal scene.
Right.
He's played in there for a long time. And myself and Ed approached him a couple of years ago when we were starting up this rock theatre show
Yeah.
to see if he wanted to be a part of it, and he did. And we just get on really well. The animal of a player, you know, Warwick into an Ampeg. It's that, you know, that early 90s kind of Ozzy
Right.
Osbourne tone or the Alice
Yeah.
in Chains tone. It hits you hard. So the sound works perfect. Again, loves all the same kind of music.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. So, and then Alex on drums, originally from Leon in Spain,
Right.
but he's living in Dublin at the minute, and we just met through kind of a mutual friend. And again, it kind of boils down to liking the same music and, you know, playing in a similar style and that kind of stuff.
Mm.
And we just kind of hit it off, and it kind of came together naturally.
Yeah. I think it's important to have that like chemistry within a band. Because if you
Oh, big time.
just if you're just there going as work colleagues, shall we say, then it just falls apart.
Yeah,
But if you're
yeah,
going
no, it
there
doesn't.
as friends and whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's more like this industry is like the priesthood. It's like a vocation. You really you have to love it rather than, you know, if you're there for a paycheck, which doesn't exist in the
Yeah.
the original music scene anyway. But yeah, you have to want to be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So 13 Doors. I mean, I've got to ask where you got the name.
Yeah, I wish I had a really cool, good answer for that, but I actually don't. I grew up in house number 13 on the street,
Right.
and I don't know whether I thought that was cool or because the name's been around for so long. I don't actually remember where it came from. I think it was something to do with growing up in number 13 and 13 being the devil's number or whatever back
Mm.
when we were really cool and young and heavy metal was the coolest thing ever and you had to be 13 because it was weird or but no, I just like the name. I don't know why it just stuck. Um, yeah, like I said, it was around since, you know, nearly 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and it just kind of stuck with me. And I thought maybe it's just so embedded in my brain.
Yeah.
Um, and
Well,
I'm a
it's
bit
in
of
your
a
head.
kind of history nerd, so I like the Roman numerals and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. So, well, I mean, that's something to touch upon. I mean, your writing, I mean, are you sort of like basing a lot of your writing on historic events then, or are you just taking it as it comes, everyday life? I mean, how do you get the inspiration for your tracks?
A lot of them, at least for this album, they're kind of songs for myself, if that makes sense. Like
Mm.
the first single, "Lead the Way," is kind of about getting up and starting to do what you want to do. And I've wanted to release original music for forever since I picked up a guitar, and I've
Right.
never done it. So it was kind of a rallying cry to myself and to anybody else in the same position. You know, that there's going to be obstacles. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but if you don't start now, when are you going to start?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Indeed, you can put it off and put it off, and then
yeah,
yeah.
put it off and put it off, and the hairline starts to slowly go further and further back. And
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Okay.
yeah.
So
So it tends to follow kind of real. I've nothing, at least on this album. There's nothing historical or nothing.
hmm,
It's more everyday life and trying to inspire myself, and in that, try and inspire other people to be happier, or to be happy, or to, you know, live life the way you want to live it.
okay. Okay. That's
Because it's
that
short.
sounds really cool. Um, so where can people listen to your music? Have you I assume you've
We've
got streaming
we've
platforms.
bombarded the internet. Yeah, anywhere that you can find any music, really. We're on Spotify and Apple and YouTube and um, 13doors.com. To complicate it, of course, it's XIII.
Yeah.
So XIII doors.com has a link to all our social medias and, you know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X as it's now called. Too many
I
things changing.
yeah, I give up on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Just
too
push
many of them
that
to
to one
keep
side.
tabs on.
Yeah, I did venture onto TikTok for about 30 seconds and then I soon came off of that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, run away.
yeah. Okay. So I mean, I assume you've got a news page on there where you're going to be playing and when
Yeah,
a
yeah, we've
single's
got,
going to be
yeah,
releasing. And
for sure. Yeah, no, we try and keep it as updated as we can. We have a link tree as well. I think it's at 13 Doors, XIII Doors, which has again all the social medias, the Spotify, the YouTube.
yeah,
Um, so we try and keep it updated. It's nearly a full-time job in itself.
yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not going to hold you up for too much longer now with Storm Magnus knocking on the door. I wish you all the very best. I do love the single, Lead the Way. It's as soon as you sent it over and I just hit it, press play. I mean, I get so many submissions to the radio station that you could usually tell within 5-10 seconds whether you like it. I know I shouldn't admit that, but
It's reality. Yeah.
usually tell. And you kept me entertained for the entire 3-4 minutes of the song. So it's like,
Oh,
right, okay,
really
that's
appreciate
good.
it.
Oh, that's fine. My listeners on the breakfast show are being subjected to it. I have had no
Whether they
negative.
want to or not.
Absolutely, I've had no negative comments, and I haven't lost listeners, so I'm assuming they're liking it as well. So,
I like to hear that.
we shall be in touch again when you've got more new music. Please get in touch, and I wish you all the very best.
100% for sure. Thanks very much, Dave.
No worries.
Enjoy
Take
the
care.
weather. Good luck.